Okay, we're ready for our next session in Adobe Photoshop. This is session number 4, and we're going to make what's called a photo layout today. And let me show you where we're headed. This is the kind of thing that we're going to make. All right, let me get that little pop-up out of the way. There's a background back here. All right, there's a kind of brownish background, and then I've got 5 photos laying on top of that background. You'll see that there's some effects applied to those photos. They have kind of a white border, they have a shadow, and you don't have to use these photos of these puppies. I use them because I have a dog like this, and I just like Cavaliers, and so that's why I use these pictures. But you don't have to use these pictures. I'll show you your options here. You can use whatever pictures you want that are school appropriate, but you can use these pictures if you want to, and I'll show you how that's all going to work. Now I'm going to go ahead and close this image, and before I get started in Photoshop, I'll go to the Start button, I'm going to go to Computer, and I'm going to hop to our Courses drive. That's Drive L. I will I'll use period 3 as an example, but if you're in period 6, it'll work the same way. I'll go into the period 3 folder, Assignments, Photoshop, and this is Photo Layout right here. All right, so I'm going to open that up. And there's a handout in here. This just says Photo Layout right here. If you double click this, all of the instructions here for how to do this. I'm going to demonstrate it like I always do, but all of the instructions are right here. So the idea is to create a little layout of 5 photos, and you can range them however you want. Layer styles are kind of optional, but I think it looks cool. The step-by-step instructions are all right here, and I'm going to show you what that looks like, and then you have to save it on your network drive and just call it Photo Layout. All right, so let's take a look. And remember, if you need this handout, it's right here, but I'm going to get back to Photoshop and show you how this works. All right, we're going to start this off by creating a new document. I'm going to click File, and I'm going to click New. All right, now from this preset menu, I'm going to drop this down and pick Web right here. I'll use that. Now underneath the preset web, it says size, and there's a setting here for 800 by 600. That's what I'm going to use. There are some other sizes there, but I'm just going to go with this 800 by 600. It'll work fine for what we're doing. So I'm going to go ahead and click OK. If you want to hit Control-0 on your keyboard, hold the Control key and hit 0. It will kind of zoom in on that a little bit and fill the workspace, and you can see it a little bit better. Now the next step that you might want to think about is filling this white background if you want to change its color. Right now it's white, obviously, so I'm going to go up to the Edit menu, and I'm going to go to Fill. It's Edit, Fill. All right, now on this Fill dialog box, I'm going to drop this where it says Use. I'm going to drop the menu down, and I'm going to go to Color, ... All right, I'll pull this over here. Now you can pick out, you can slide up and down the ramp to get close to a color that you want. If you want a bluish color, get into the blues or the reds or the oranges or the greens or whatever you think you want. Now in this case, because Cavaliers have a lot of brown in them, I'm going to use a shade of brown. I kind of want to work with a brown color. So I'm going to try to, locate the brown colors here, and then I kind of float around in this color picker area in the middle to find the shade I want. Okay, I'm going to go with this kind of chocolate brown right here. All right, so I'll click OK. I'll click OK again, and it fills it up with that color brown. Great. Perfect. All right, now I have my background. I'm ready to go ahead and lay photos on top of the background. Well, here's how I do that. I'm going to click File and click Open. And I have placed these Cavalier pictures on Drive L if you want to use them. If you don't have any other pictures and you don't have another idea, I can go to Computer, go to Courses right here, go to your class period. I'll go to period 3, Assignments, Photoshop, Photo Layout, and this Cavalier 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, there they are. So I'm going to go ahead and just work right through them. I'll open up Cavalier 1. There it is. Now, we want to take at least part of this picture and copy it and paste it over onto this brown background that I have prepared. So here's how we're going to do that. The second tool down here on the toolbar is the rectangular marquee tool. It's used for selecting. All right, so I'm going to click on the rectangular marquee, and I could drag it over the entire picture if I wanted to, or I could just do part of the picture if I wanted to. If I wanted to just kind of focus in on his eyes and nose, I could do that. It's really, you select the part of the picture that you want. Okay. Now if you make a selection and you think, okay, I want to cancel that selection, the keyboard shortcut way to do that is Control D. D as in dog, get it, dog, but it's Control D as in deselect. So if I hit Control D, it turns off that selection. All right, well, I'm going to get to work here. I'm going to select a good chunk of that picture. I've got it selected. The next thing I want to do is copy it. Well, okay, that's Edit, Copy, or you can do the keyboard shortcut Control C. Now that I've copied it, I'm going to go back over here to this brown background that I made. I'm going to paste it. All right, well, that's Edit, Paste, or Control V. Got it. Now that picture's really big, so I'm going to have to do a Control T for transform. That's Edit and Free Transform. I did the keyboard shortcut Control T. All right, and then I can use these handles, and it's a combination of kind of sizing this down and then moving it and sizing it some more and moving it, and you can you can kind of size it however you want to size it, and I think I'll put it like right about like that. Now remember, when you're transforming something, once you're done transforming, you have to do one of three things. You have to press the Enter key, you have to double click inside the box, or you can go up to the control panel across the top and click the check mark. I'm just going to press Enter because that's easy. Now, the other thing you can do, and this is really optional on this assignment, is you can come down here to the Effects button, and you can add, we've done this with Mario, remember, if you were here for that. All right, I'm going to do a drop shadow on this, and you can add things like drop shadows if you want to. That looks pretty good. And I might go ahead and add a stroke on this, but I'm going to, that black stroke doesn't look bad. I kind of like it. Maybe I'll bump that up to a 5, and instead of making the stroke outside, I'm going to make it inside. And there we go. All right, so I've got a black stroke or an outline, and I've got a drop shadow on it, and okay, looks good. All right, so let me go get another picture. I'll click File and Open, and I'll get the second picture here, and I'm going to pick up the pace. I'm going to drag that rectangular marquee around the part of the picture that I want. That looks pretty good to me. Now I'm going to start using keyboard shortcuts. Copy is Control C. I'll go back over to my brown background, and I'll do Control V to paste. To transform, it's Control T. It's C, V, and T. All right, so I'm going to size this down, and I'm going to kind of move it around here and just kind of keep sizing and moving, and I'm going to lay this one right about here and maybe make that a little bit bigger, and I got to press Enter when I'm done transforming. And then again, if I want to, I can do the whole drop shadow, tweak that a little bit, and the stroke, and I like it size 5 and inside instead of outside, and got it. All right, now I'll do one or two more, but you're getting the idea here, right? I hope so. I'm going to click File and Open, and I'll get another Cavalier picture. All right, I'm going to use my rectangular selector tool and select that. I've got the selection that I want, so I'll copy it, Control C. I'm using keyboard shortcuts, Control C. I'm going to go back over to my brown background. I'll paste it, Control V, and I'll transform it, Control T, and I've got the handles now, so I can size that and kind of get it in position where I want it. And again, press Enter or double click in there when you're done, and then go to work on adding any kinds of effects that you might want to add to that. A little bit of a drop shadow. Once again, I'm going to throw my 5-point inside black stroke around that and click OK. Well, all right. Now, I would have to continue to complete this assignment. I've only done 3 pictures. I would need to do a couple more to really complete the assignment, but hopefully you're getting the idea. You see how this works. It's a combination of using this rectangular selection. You copy, you paste, you transform, arrange the photos however you want to, add these layer effects if you want to, and in the end you should have 5 pictures all arranged the way that you would like to have them on this artboard. Hey, I think it's time for you to go to work on this. It's time for you to try it out. So I'm going to let you loose, and hey, good luck, have at it, off you go.